It's CMC 415, Dynamic Speaking in Professional Contexts. So they give different types of professional presentations. We were doing elevator pitches. I had students come up with a 30 to 40 second pitch about themselves, about their background, their interests, and their future goals, and something they could give to any random person in the elevator who turns to them and says, "So what do you do?" And this is something that I think will help them in all kinds of different ways outside of school. A few students have told me they've used them at networking events. One student met the president a couple weeks ago and basically gave a version of her pitch to the president. So I think it helps them get out of the gate with small talk early on so that they at least can get started. And enough that interests the other person to ask some questions and get the ball rolling. And it handles one of those more awkward parts of that initial conversation. Yeah, students are pretty open-minded and willing to jump in with things. I think there's a natural nervousness. We did it over in this building just to add an element of realism. I wanted them to get interrupted by people coming on the elevator. And I wanted them to talk to real employees from the building and have to give their pitch in a more natural way. So I didn't get any complaints, but sure, there was natural nervousness about that. But they jumped in and handled it really well. This wasn't even my idea. A colleague did this a few years ago in our academic building, but it only has like 2 or 3 floors. So I thought, well, let's take it up a few notches and do it in the administrative building. And yeah, the idea that if they have to think on their feet here, then that's good experience. And honestly, even if they stumble in this environment, this is where we want them stumbling. We want them stumbling on campus, make their mistakes here, where the consequences are just a grade, and that's it. And hopefully, I think this will be more memorable for them than if they had just done this in a classroom or even in an elevator with only a couple of floors in it. It's a hard thing to research. All I know is that I think our students are going to find themselves in positions where even if they don't need to give this exact formal 30 to 40 second speech, they get used to the process of presenting themselves to others. And that's something they could do in a grocery line, in an elevator, at a networking event. So that there are ways it can translate indirectly, even if not directly.